Happening now, staff and volunteers across Fresno and Madera are reaching out to the homeless to conduct the annual point-in-time count. The data will be reported to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to determine how funding will be distributed nationwide.
Action News reporter Nick Garcia is live in downtown Fresno tonight with how the records from the past few years influenced incoming dollars. Nick?
Right, well, the Department of Housing and Urban Development requires that these surveys be done at least every other year, but some areas, like here in Fresno and Madera, do them annually. Fresno is set to receive millions of dollars in federal aid that will help address a lot of the issues we're seeing here, and part of that's due in part to the data collected last year. For years, there have been efforts to reduce the number of people living on the streets across the state and country. Here in Fresno, Mayor Jerry Dyer says there has been some progress, but there's still a long way to go.
The challenge we face is that we're in a housing crisis. We're in an affordable housing crisis. We do not have enough housing for the people out there that need housing.
The mayor is fresh off a trip from Washington, D.C., where the city secured more money to help with affordable housing. As the Fresno Madera Continuum of Care program conducts its annual point-in-time survey this week, the city of Fresno is about to receive $11 million from the federal government to be spent on housing development.
We do have an infusion of dollars. We have to spend it wisely, and we are. We have strategies in place. We're going to continue to acquire some motels so that we can utilize them for emergency shelter.
A lot of that funding is based off of what the point-in-time survey teams find. Last year, data from HUD shows Fresno had just over 2,200 unsheltered households. HUD considers a household groups of people or families who live together. Compare that to 2020, when there were just over 2,400 unsheltered households.
I think the governor has said it best, that you don't have to look much further than Fresno to see how we have been able to house our homeless population.
The numbers do show a significant rise in those in emergency shelters. In 2020, there were 534 households in emergency shelters. In 2022, that number went up to 1,173. Dyer says there's still significant work to do to address some other issues among the unhoused population. The HUD data shows the number of severely mentally ill people living on the streets did go down from 1,001 in 2020 to 405 in 2022. And the number of veterans experiencing homelessness has also gone down from 282 in 2020 to just 99 in 2022. But there was an increase in those reporting chronic substance abuse, 367 last year, up from 257 in 2020. And the mayor says that $11 million in federal aid is expected to be made available in the next month or so. There's also more money from the state coming in to help with issues like affordable housing, as well as services offered to those experiencing homelessness. Live in downtown Fresno, I'm Nick Garcia, ABC 30 Action News.